Today we have our guest from Brunel University, London. What sort of courses Brunel offers? So the placement here available both at undergrad and postgrad level. So what sort of fee structure we have, and especially the scholarship offered by the university. Hello and welcome to another podcast series with Edify Consulting. As you have seen, a couple of universities podcast sessions on our YouTube channel in the past couple of weeks. So today we have our guest from Brunel University, London, Shivani Bhalla. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, Hassan. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a pleasure to not only be on your podcast, but to get to talk to you one on one, which we rarely get a chance to do so anyway. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Audience, Shivani is head of international. She has also studied from Brunel University, and definitely we'll be getting more information from Shivani. But just to give you a brief of Brunel University, it's a very famous university based in London. It's a public university, and quite recently they become part of very prestigious University of London group. Now there are like 17 university, I believe, part of University of London. So, Shivani, let's begin our podcast with the first question. Okay, tell us briefly about Brunel to our Pakistani students.
Lovely. So when I came to study, to the UK in 2008, within a couple of days of being on the Brunel campus in London in Uxbridge, it just felt like home. So I always say this, Brunel is the closest university to home. And there's also a very technical reason I say this. We're about 20 minutes taxi ride from Heathrow Airport. And then you have 9 hours flying to either Lahore or Karachi or Islamabad. So if you look at it in 9 hours, 20 minutes, you can either be in your home back in Pakistan or your home in London, which is Brunel. Um, Brunel's quite distinctive in its nature. It is the only university in London that has a single campus. Um, and I think that's very important, not only for the students, but also for parents. That when my child is going so many miles away, so far away, sometimes maybe for the first time, at least they're going to an environment which is safe, secure, and everything and anything that the student needs is available on campus, including 24-hour security, your grocery store, your 24/7 library, your
Yeah,
lecture center, your sports facilities, the cricket club,
yeah.
which are some of our Pakistani students. I think last year the captain of the Brunel cricket team was from Pakistan. So you
Okay.
get everything on campus, and of course when you come from another country, you do want to go to central London, you do want to see the Big Ben, you want to see the London Eye, and that's only a 35 to 40 minutes train ride to the center of the city. So it's got that beauty that it's accessible, yet it's got a little bit of a community feeling on campus.
Great. Thank you, Shivani. What sort of courses Brunel offers? If you can explain
So
a few.
sure. So a little story about Brunel. You all may wonder why Brunel. So Brunel is our namesake, which is Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He was the first Victorian engineer the world saw, and his specialty was around civil engineering. And he built lots of bridges across the UK. Some famous ones in Bristol. The London Underground, the way you see it today, a lot of the initial setting up and the engineering works for that was done by Brunel as well. So engineering and any STEM subject is still a very strong point at Brunel. And second to none is obviously our business school. The Brunel Business School is a double accredited business school, which puts us up in the top, probably the top 3% of the business schools in the world. I studied at the Brunel Business School as well, and I know that students that come to the business school not only come out with a degree, but they come out with the right skills to get their first job very quickly. Last but not the least, of course, we launched our Brunel Medical School in
Mm.
2022. Now, that's a big move for us because um, having a medical school is not only something for our students and our staff, but giving back to the health community globally. So we have students right now in our medical school from more than 110 countries. And we know that once they graduate with the medical degree, they will give back to whichever country they've come from by either being a doctor or being in the medical profession. And you all know that not just in the UK, but in Pakistan and in so many different parts of the world, health is such a crucial industry for any country to grow. And I think, we're just trying to give back to the society as well. Other than that, of course, we're very popular in Pakistan for our law programs.
Yeah.
And with that, there is a distinctive factor I must share with your audience. We're among the only London law schools that offer most of our LLMs with an industrial placement year.
All
So
right.
as you all will be aware that if you've done your LLB in Pakistan, you can't come to the UK and practice in the court till you've given your bar exam here, and you can't be a barrister straight away.
Okay.
We realized this is a hindrance for some of our students who do want to work in the UK, and we thought, what best could we do for them? And that's when we designed a professional placement in the
Mm.
LLM. So at least they
Okay.
get a 1 year experience of working in the law industry, not in the court, of course, because
Right.
that you can't do, but at least in a law firm, or in corporate law. And once you've done that, then a student can decide, do I want to continue my career in law in the UK, or do I want to go back to Pakistan or another country to practice?
All right. So you mentioned about this like placement here, which is, I think, I would say a lot of students are like taking interest in coming with the course, which is universities giving with the placement here. So just briefly, I mean, so the placement here available both at undergrad and postgrad level, and how it goes. Let's say, do they have to find job themselves, and university help them out in finding anything?
Yeah, great question, Hassan. So I just want to share another small story about Brunel. Brunel was actually the first university in the UK to launch the sandwich placement year many years ago. Uh, what we realized, and this is for our international students, but also for our local home students, a year in the industry can completely change your career. And I think we really stress that whether you're an undergraduate or a postgraduate, if you do have an opportunity or an option to take a placement year, you must take it. Now,
Okay.
most of our undergraduate courses offer the placement year, more than about 150 of them. And at postgraduate level, there are at least 25 plus courses that offer a placement year. Now, essentially, what happens is when you do apply for a program with a placement year, you get your visa for that duration. So, for example, if you apply for the Masters of International Business,
Mm.
with placement here, students would get a 24-month or a 2 year visa. When
Okay.
they start the course in September, during the orientation period, there will be an opportunity for them to register with our Professional Development Center. Now,
Okay.
that is your mega place for everything to do with your career and your career services. Once they register with the PDC, they'll have three different strands that the PDC helps them with. The first one is to help them secure a part-time job through
Okay.
a section called the job shop. Now, when I
Mm.
was a student at Brunel, I did work part time on campus as well. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most fun experiences I had, not only because of the extra pocket money,
Yeah,
but it helped me understand the UK culture a little bit, and
that's true.
also get to know what people feel when they go to a job in London or on campus. So I worked on campus. So it was
Okay.
really a great experience. The
Yeah.
second the second section that the PDC helps you with is your career center, where the first step that they do is help you write your UK CV. The CV in Pakistan, the CV in the UK is very different. So
Mhm.
what this team will do is help you write your CV in the UK format,
Okay.
and also help you write your cover letter, but do some mock interviews with you because it's
Okay.
quite different from Pakistan. So here there's a certain protocol. There could be one or two rounds that you have to go through when you apply for a job. So the second level actually helps you with your CV writing, your mock interview, and your preparation. After you've done all of that, usually in the early part of the new year, so you've been in London for 4 months, you feel settled, you're less homesick, you're making all your chicken kadai, and you feel like a little bit at home. Early January is when the placement team will advise you to start making applications.
Okay. Okay.
One mistake that most students do is that they start the application process for placements very late in the day. Every student must remember the period of this is at least 9 months, minimum 9 months, because a company that wants to hire a placement student in September will
Okay.
start their homework in January. So
All right.
it gives students limited time to then make an application, write your CV, prepare for the interview. So what we advise is early in the new year to
Okay.
start making sure that you put your applications in. Now, in our PDC, in the careers team, you've got career advisors. So you'll get a dedicated career advisor who will help you completely free of charge. We'll give you a list of companies that hire students from our end, list of companies that match the skill set that
Okay.
your subject or your course has. And within that, in the new year, we'll also organize career fairs where
All
these
right.
companies will come. It's like the student fair
Campaigns.
that
Yeah.
you have in Pakistan, but turn the
Yeah.
side. So now it's companies that come set up their stall, and it's a great networking opportunity. So you can actually start talking to a prospective employer at those events.
Okay.
Once you've done all of this, the application process starts. The PDC will help you apply. We
Okay.
always say this, we can't guarantee these placements because at the end of the day, it is the students' intention, responsibility to make sure they do all these things in time to get a placement. But having said that, the placement record at our end is absolutely fantastic. I mean, at least at our undergraduate courses, more than 96% of our students get a placement. At postgraduate level, it's about 70-75%, but postgraduate courses are 1 year. So
Yeah.
everything is on a very strong timeline. And this is why I promise you the advice I'm telling you today, if you start early and you're good at what you do, there's nothing in the world that will stop you from getting a placement. But you may have to make sure you do it on time. The
Great.
last and the most interesting thing in the careers team is your entrepreneurial support. So maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to have an entrepreneurial experience, whether just with yourself or with another student. The careers team will also help you with that. There's a visa called an innovator visa or an entrepreneurship visa. They support you with that, but also some students do get funded up to £20,000 to start a business in the UK. So there's lots of options. Brunel's
Yeah.
careers team is one of the best in the UK. And I say this not just with my experience as a student, but in the last so many years, our students have got jobs with PwC, with Ernst& Young, with British Airways, with British Telecom, and these are all international students. Some of our law students that have come from Pakistan have got amazing jobs with PwC in their corporate law teams as well. So the opportunity is available. The student has to make the first move and walk into that door and give the interview.
Yeah, I think thank you for the very elaborated, I think your reply answer, because a lot of students are taking even at the undergrad level. I think if we go back maybe 5, 10 years, so I mean students with A levels, I think they might not be interested that much in applying for a course with a placement. Even now,
Yeah.
they are taking a lot of interest. But post grad, yes, like you said, the duration is just 1 year, and it's very intensive master in the UK. So they are looking for job prospects later on, or maybe getting experience, and then post study work visa is also really helpful
Yes.
for the student. So Shivani, next question. I mean, if you can answer on those, what sort of like thing a university admission is looking into a student when they're applying? I mean, since we are keeping our discussion to Pakistani student, and obviously there are a lot of like universities, let's say in Pakistan, from different universities and colleges. I mean, students are applying to UK and to particularly to Brunel. So what are the things I mean students should be keeping in mind?
Yeah. It's a very good point because we receive thousands of applications, and you may wonder how do we shortlist them. So the most important, and sometimes I know it sounds the most boring, is your academic grades. How you have done in your A levels or how you performed in your undergraduate degree in Pakistan. What I have to say is, we have thousands of Pakistani students on campus. It's the third largest nationality of students studying at Brunel. But I can promise you the quality of students that we get from Pakistan are top notch. They are so hardworking, so intelligent, but what they also have are brilliant creative soft skills. So that is something we do look at, and how you can show that in your statement of purpose, in your letters of reference that you have to submit, or you could write your CV as well, which will give you an initial taster into what to expect when you come to the UK. In some courses, like the MBA program, and in some of our creative courses, you do have an interview process as well, or submission of a portfolio. So it's quite course specific. But I have to say, Hassan, I mean, some of the Pakistani students we've had for years, they are so talented. They get amazing jobs. They do so well wherever they go. And one of the things we really resonate that with Brunel and our students from Pakistan is the fact that there's a lot of matching in expectation of what they do in their job. So as an institution, as a university, it's our responsibility to make sure they get all the soft skills to
True.
succeed. We've got a big alumni base in Pakistan as well, and anytime we speak to any of them, they're
Yeah.
so successful, and it really makes us feel really good.
No, no, absolutely. I think you're right. Obviously, I think our student, I mean, those who have studied and those who are even studying at Brunel. So, we are getting very, very positive feedback from them. So, again, question relating to students. I mean, Pakistan generally is a dominating is a post-grad market. I mean, I would say maybe 60 to 70% is a post-grad market. But yeah, a lot of interest among student going directly for the year one and maybe through the foundation course. So you've been a student as well, and particularly at Brunel. So how best I think student they utilize their time while studying on the campus. They have this myth that they have like just two classes or maybe maximum three classes on the master in the UK. So what's the best way to utilize their time?
There's lots you can do. London is the best student city in the world, and that's been ranked 3 times in a row by QS. Most importantly, I mean, so if I look at the class structure now, it's slightly similar to when I was there. Classes happen 3 days in a week, and 4 to 6 hours are your lectures. But you have to be very mindful at postgraduate level. You do have a lot of courseworks and assignments. And I can tell you a very funny story. When I did the corporate brand management master's program at Brunel, my first day in class, I go in and there were a lot of students from China, Malaysia, Singapore. And then, I sat down and I felt I didn't see anyone similar like me. I couldn't see any South Asians first. And then these two boys walked into the class. And they sat a little away from me, and they didn't talk to me. I didn't talk to them, but they looked. I felt either they are from Pakistan or they are from India or they are from Bangladesh because we looked similar.
Oh yeah.
First class finished. We didn't talk to each other. The second class, when we went in, we got put in a group project together. So
Mm.
these two boys, me, and there was a girl we had from Malaysia. So the four of us in a group project together, and we started talking. And the first thing you can imagine what we spoke about after we did our project and our course. So we started talking about food.
Okay.
These friends of mine now, they're still my best friends. They sort of shared. They all make a very good chicken curry.
Okay.
and
Okay.
and we finished the class and we went to the accommodation, and we all got together and we started cooking. Now the big benefit of being on campus, and especially in a campus university in London, is exactly this: you'll
Yeah.
not feel homesick. You'd always have friends around you. So once your class is finished, once you finish your project work, once you finish your assignment, your submissions, I think the most important thing to do is then to make a little bit of a group of friends so you can explore London. You can be with people after your class is finished. So if you look at the weather right now, at 3:30 it gets dark. You can feel a bit sad and upset or homesick or very cold. And if you have friends with you, then you don't feel that feeling that my family is too far away from me. We celebrated Eid together, we celebrated Christmas together, we celebrated Diwali together. But if I didn't have this opportunity to live on campus, I would have never met my best friends who are from Pakistan. So
Yeah.
it is important to study, it is important to do your assignments, your projects, but it's also very important to have little fun and get
Mm.
to know people. Even our friend from Malaysia, Maha, she's still our friend.
Oh,
And we don't see each other very often because we all live in different parts of the world, but we are connected on Facebook. The third thing I recommend is to work part-time.
mm.
I know it sounds like, why should I work part-time? I've never worked part-time in Pakistan. I don't need to work part-time. It's not about the money only, but it's about the experience and the
True.
network you build. When I started working part-time on campus, I worked in the alumni team. And
Okay.
this is in 2009. In 2011, I was made the alumni ambassador for Brunel, based out of India. So you can
Okay.
But if I didn't have that network and I didn't meet people, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to become a alumni ambassador. So you
Yeah,
don't know at what time or stage, you meet somebody, what impact could they have in your life in a few years down the line. So doing your assignments, doing your project work, having a little fun, making some friends, making your little family,
yeah,
on campus, and then last but not the least is to work part time.
yeah, yeah,
There is so much that happens on the Brunel campus. Hassan, you have been to the campus so many times. It's always busy. Tuesdays is fresh fruit and vegetable market on
yeah.
campus. We have
True.
grocery store on campus. There are cricket matches that happen on campus. There's football. There's so much happening
Yeah,
that there is never a dull moment. The only time there's a little bit of a dull moment is when the university closes for Christmas break.
yeah.
So that
That
time,
is.
what I recommend is students to explore other cities. So from
Mhm.
London, you can get to Paris in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So why not work part time, save some money,
Travel.
and go explore Europe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned about the part-time thing, part-time jobs, which yeah, students sometimes, some of them, like you said, they might not be interested, but maybe some they are. So the you mentioned in your previous answer as well, I mean, the students are working part-time, and you yourself work in alumni department. So, what sort of other, let's say, part-time jobs available on campus, and uh, like in some countries, I mean, let's say a student coming on the bachelor's, they are not allowed to work outside campus. So do we have any restriction in the UK, or there are ample
No,
opportunity
no.
outside?
UK is quite open. As an undergraduate student, you can work 15 hours per week.
Okay.
It's really up to you where you want to work. I think they recommend working on campus just because you're a bit new to the system, so you feel a bit more secure and safe. Once you've got familiar, you can work anywhere.
Yeah.
My best friend from Pakistan, Danish, that I met at Brunel, he used to work, in closer to central London,
Okay.
in his uncle's restaurant. So and then he opened a Subway. So he
Oh,
got that experience and he opened a Subway in Hammersmith, which is in West London as well. So the, there is no job that you can't do. You should do a job that's comfortable to you. I was more comfortable working in the alumni office in campus. The other jobs that you could have on campus are being a library assistant.
mm,
There are lots of restaurants and cafes on campus that you can work at.
yeah.
But one of the best one is to be a student ambassador. We
Okay.
have Amna, a student from Pakistan. She's been a student ambassador with us for the last 2 years. She came for an undergraduate course. As a student ambassador, you help with any activities that happen on campus. So,
All right.
they get to wear ambassador sweatshirt and they'll do campus tours. And I think if you came for one of our fam trips, the students help with stuff like that as well. So there's
Okay.
lots of options, but it's really up to, I feel a part-time job should be up to you as an individual, what you like. Like I was telling you about my friend Danish from Pakistan. He worked in a restaurant. He worked in a restaurant. It may sound like, why should I work in a restaurant? But he had a dream to open his own restaurant.
Mm.
If he didn't get that experience, could he have opened his own Subway?
True, true.
So
So yeah,
it's
I think it's all about, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's all about experience. It's not about the money. You are in a new different place and you are there for some time, maybe a year or more, and maybe 3, 4 years, and if you're coming for undergrad. So I think it's an experience. I mean, experience from the society, from the culture, gelling in. So I think that's why I said, I mean, I tell to the student, I mean, you're going for the whole package. It's just not the
correct.
studies. So you're going for the whole package. I mean, that you will be making contact, you will be grooming yourself, your
Correct.
communication skill gonna improve. You're gonna make maybe hundreds of friends, maybe if, coming from different
Most
countries. So
important
it's really
is
good.
making friends. It's making friends and getting to know different cultures, different communities. And I think
True.
we don't realize that, because when we are in our own country, no matter where we are from, we are very protected by our parents, our family, and suddenly you are out there,
True.
meeting people from so many different parts of the world. So it is a wonderful experience to be able to study overseas, and every
Absolutely.
university is a great university. It's
Yeah.
your experience that you make, when you are there. I think that matters a lot.
Yeah. Okay. If you touch on some financial aspects, which is very, very important, obviously, for the student to decide. So what sort of fee structure generally? I know that information is available on the website, and we will be sharing uh, uh, in the link through the link. So what sort of fee structure we have, and especially the scholarship offered by the university?
So the fee structure for undergraduate courses, our fees ranges from about £21,000, and obviously medicine is the most expensive, which is about £49,500 approximately. But there's a range. Postgraduate, most of our courses start from about £25,000 onwards, and again you've got the MBA, which is around 33,000. Being the most expensive master's course. We do have some amazing scholarships. Brunel really values academic excellence. So right now we do have a Vice Chancellor's Excellence Scholarship that is open up until 10th of January for any January students, and the value of that is £6,000. This gets deducted off your tuition fee, and we have so many amazing students from Pakistan that have already availed this scholarship. So if
Okay.
they are still interested in the January intake, applications are open. Scholarship
Okay.
is still open. The CAS deadline is 17th of January, so there's still enough time to
Yeah.
make your decision and make the best use of an opportunity to come study at Brunel in London in the January intake. We will announce our September scholarships for next year very soon, but they will be on similar lines. So postgraduate will be £6,000 as well. But we have to update the website and announce that in the next
Sure.
couple of weeks.
Okay. And Shivani, what about the undergrad? I mean, do you offer the scholarship for the first year, or is it like for all 3 years?
This year, so the scholarship that we had in September 2024 was £2,000 per year. So it was not just for the first year. Like I said, we haven't announced and decided our scholarships for next year, but it will be between £2,000 to £3,000 per year.
Okay, okay. So yes, I mean, just to add, I mean, what Shivani is saying to our audience that I mean, yes, there are scholarship. The postgrad masters, I mean, they have a worth of £6,000. So applications are open even for January if someone is ready who's listening to us today. So and then obviously next intake will be September 2025. Um, just last one or two question, I mean, with regards to internationalization, I mean, I think I was reading on the website that Brunel has one of the largest, international student body, I mean, as compared to other universities. So how does that impact, overall student body and, university?
Yeah, Brunel has been ranked second in time in a row to be the most international university in the UK. And that's a joint award with Queen's University Belfast and Imperial College London. So you can imagine we feel really proud.
Yeah.
Um, Being an international university helps with multiple aspects, but I'll give you the top three. We have more than 155 nationalities on campus that are studying with us. Out of those 155, Pakistan is number three. So you can imagine how big that is. Second, it gives our students and our staff the opportunity to work and live in other countries. So, whether it's an exchange program, whether it's a work opportunity, whether it's an internship, it really, really creates a distinctive opportunity for our international students. And
Okay.
last but not the least, we work with more than 1,500 companies in West London alone to
Okay.
help with career support services for our students. Now, you could say, how is that related to international students? Because we have such a strong international footprint, these companies want to hire our students
Yeah, right. Okay.
because they come with such a varied background and so many disciplines that when a Brunel student walks into an office for a job interview, 20% of the job is done when it's on their CV that they've done a degree from Brunel. So that internationalization element of it and the student body that we have really helps, create that distinctive factor for the student. How am I different? Everyone can be the same, right? Everyone who's studying law,
Yeah.
in not just in the UK, but in Pakistan, in any part of the world, how am I different? And then when you say, I studied at the Brunel Law School, it creates a slight different edge in the minds of an employer as well. So those are the top three things. But I'll say time and again, you can make friends from 150 countries. It's impossible to do that. But if
Yeah.
someone does that, it's just absolutely outstanding. So it does really, really, I think, an allocation, right? Being in
Yeah.
London, being a single campus university, having guaranteed accommodation on campus, I think is such a sweet deal,
Yeah.
that even parents would feel a bit comfortable when they leave, when their children leave Pakistan.
Yeah. Great, great. All right, Shivani, final question. I mean, what advice you want to give? I mean, you've been UK alumni, you're working in the UK with one of the very prestigious university at the moment. So what is your advice to student when they are planning and thinking of, coming to Brunel or UK?
So most important, and always remember this, and I'm saying this as a ex-student, UK is one of the best places in the world to study. I I cannot emphasize and explain this enough. The research that is done in the UK, the subject offering that is available in the UK, and the real-time experience that you get in the UK, there is no other country in the world that can give you that. Uh, so it's very important to have that very clear in your mind. If you choose the UK, you're doing a sensible and a logical decision. The second and the other crucial thing to know is you must know what you want to study and what skills do you want to get 5 years after you studied. So have your goal that in the next 5 years, this is what I want to be. Now I studied brand management. And this is where I say your decisions and your experiences change you. When I came to do my brand management at Brunel, when I finished, I was like, right, I want to be a brand manager. That is what I want to work in. I did my first job and I realized I don't want to be in branding. I want to be in marketing or sales or something like that because I love talking. That
Yeah.
was a skill I only identified once I completed my master's and got my first job. So if you can and comfortably can put a goal for yourself that in 5 years, where do you see yourself and how will this subject or course or skill help me to get to that? I think you've already won half the battle.
True.
And the last, but definitely not the least, please, please, please enjoy and have a good time when you come study in the UK or in London or anywhere in the world, because this experience and this time, the friends you make, the professors that you meet, the network that you build, believe you me, you will never get that time back.
Um,
So it is so important to have fun and make friends that you will make for your life.
Absolutely. I think it's a lifetime experience, obviously. It's a big investment you're making, taking out
Yes, yes,
time, leaving your parents, your family, your home, and but you're going for and striving for, something, you would be benefiting out of it. So yeah,
absolutely.
like you said, I mean, it's not just studies, it's a whole package. Enjoy your life, study, have fun, and come back, or maybe settle over there.
Absolutely.
And
I, I,
yeah,
I, I went back to India. I didn't settle in the
yeah,
UK then, and now I've come back. So, you don't know what opportunity will come to you. But I can promise you, 2008 September to 2009 September was one of the best years of my life. Of course,
true.
I missed family. Of course, I missed my friends. But I had such a lovely group here of friends, and it didn't make me miss home as much as I thought it would.
Really good. Lovely, lovely, feelings and, memories. Thank you, Shivani, for joining us today. Guys, this is Hassan from Edify Consulting. So you would be watching us more on YouTube, bringing us more universities, more friends, colleagues from different part of the world, sharing information, how you can apply UK or USA or other countries. Join or like or subscribe our page, YouTube page, and so I'll see you again. Thank you, Shivani, for your time and bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Hassan. Thanks for having me. Bye bye.
Bye.